Hi, my name is Samantha Hood, and this is my Me Before You Signature Assignment number 5 presentation. Let's get on into it. So firstly, we're going to start with stage 2, the analysis of a peer response. So the person I decided to respond to was Cyan. And overall, Cyan and I had very similar stances on Will's trainer's decision to end his life, although it's not morally accepted or right if you compare it to today's societal beliefs. We just thought it was the ideal decision for him, and although some may disagree, they will say, oh no, a person should never resort to that low, and he should have just stayed with Louisa. She loved him, she supported him. There was no reason for him to follow through with his actions, and I would fully agree with that if we were in a perfect situation, if we were in a perfect world, but life is not exactly fair, and based off of his situation, just based off of Will's beliefs, and how unsatisfied he was with his life, and he was just miserable despite having Louisa and being in love with Louisa. Like, he loved her to death, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for yourself, and living in pain and being so upset on a day-to-day basis was not something Will wanted to do. So I would have to disagree with the general decision people would make and say that his decision was justified. We both also agreed that his actions had benefits for not only himself but also Louisa. For starters, he was freed from his pain and his internal battles, while Louisa was able to make a name for herself, leave her hometown, and just go on a whim and fully live out her dreams. Now going into the next stage, stage 4, which is applying a philosopher's perspective. So the topic I connected my response to was certainty. And philosopher Rene Descartes realized that he was uncertain about everything at the beginning, and due to the many conflicting views and beliefs, he just realized that he could trust no one. Like, he couldn't even trust himself, and there was no definite way to conclude what was right. So through this belief, that's when Descartes developed the idea of rationalism. So rationalism is all truth can be found using reason alone. So with using reason to find truth, he developed the series cogito ergo sum. Sorry if I butchered that pronunciation. The first idea being I think I am, and the second idea being I am a thinking thing. So those are the two ideas that I related back to my comment. I think I am is confirming the existence of oneself, confirming that you are a person, you are alive, you are true, despite any doubts that you may have. And the I remains definite in order to be able to think, which goes into I am a thinking thing, which is the essence or the form of I, oneself, thinking. You yourself have thoughts, you think. So I related this back to Cyan's comment where she said Will knew ending his life was the best decision because he couldn't live to his full potential, causing him to constantly feel unmotivated and depressed. So the reason why certainty falls in is Will was certain of his actions because he was aware of himself and his thoughts, which would be reason necessary to find his truth. So therefore, Will was certain about his decision, and that ties into the philosopher's viewpoint. Next, we're going to talk about stage 1, bringing it all the way back to the beginning. I saved this for last so we could have a clear understanding of where I stand. So, like I said in the beginning, I believe that Will's actions were justified. They were very sad. It was a very sad situation, but at the end of the day, he just felt so restricted. He was unhappy with his current lifestyle. looking back at the person he used to be, all the things he used to do, all the sports, all the people he used to meet, his love for traveling, like the fact that he could get any woman he wanted. When he thought back to those, and then he looked back at his current lifestyle and his current status, and seeing how restricted he is, not even mobility wise, but just mentally, it weighed really heavily on him. And we also have to remember that physical therapy takes a toll not only on your body but also your mental state, and that was something he was dealing with on a day-to-day basis, feeling miserable and feeling like he's not himself anymore. He did not feel himself, and that was the main thing that Will hated about his situation. And not only that, he was in a lot of pain and agonizing pain every single day because he was paralyzed. And that situation, I can't even imagine. It seems so unbearable. And kudos to Will for trying, at least. I'll give him that. For trying and trying to do better and trying to change his mindset. Because I can imagine that situation just, it will do a lot on your mental state. And this is where Louisa comes in. Louisa, they both had such an impact on each other's lives, but Louisa really, really had a strong impact on Will's life. She was the first, I would say, to show him genuine, pure, sickly love. And you can tell that through Will's actions and his words that he was fully in love with Louisa, and he was so appreciative of just the way she made him feel. She made him feel alive again. She just made such a beautiful impact on his life. She was a light. She was walking positivity, and he was able to learn through her to appreciate the little things in life, and he tried to install a more positive mindset because of her, because she was just so happy. Although she struggled sometimes, at the end of the day, she was just happy. She was a happy woman, and she had a beautiful soul. And although their love for each other was so strong and so pure, he did not want to hold her back at the end of the day. He felt like he was restricting her full potential and her dreams because of his disability. And he didn't want to be a burden. He hated people helping him already and the situation he was in. He didn't want to hold Louisa back any further. And that showed after his passing, when he left her a large sum of money. You can tell Louisa, she's very humble and appreciative, and that sum of money was what led her to, fulfilling her dreams. And at the end of the day, it shows that Louisa will always remember Will. They had such a connection, and no matter how much time passes, what she goes through, or anything, she will always be grateful for the experience that they shared together. And I'm sure Will was also grateful for the experiences that they had, and that showed through their last moments together. Just the impact that they made on each other and how much they appreciated each other. And the film was beautiful, the story was beautiful. It was just tear-jerking and heartwarming altogether. So overall, thank you for listening. As you can see, my viewpoint remained solid throughout the assignment. I also thought it was a very unique assignment, as I thought it was a very unique class. I learned a lot, and I'm very grateful for the time we spent in your class. Thank you once again for listening.